So let's talk about the solution to common overuse heavy leg. Why my right leg feels heavy while running and painfully sore after. The most common cause of heavy leg sensation of one leg, especially your leading leg, is overuse. Yes, it's a muscle getting overused. You have to be aware that your dominant leg, usually the right side, has the best signal coming, coming from your nervous system or simply from your brain. And when you say the best signal, it means you have better control, coordinations, stability, and sensation, like pain from soreness and tightness. Being dominant in the first place means you progressively and naturally develop this preference over time and lead you to become skillful on one side than the other. For most people, it became a personal habit and more automated. But for some special case, they continue to enhance their skill on their dominant leg with less disconnection. The experience of one leg getting tired and heavy is a mixed result or an unconscious neuromuscular that is more pronounced for people who intensely doing exercise like running, or an absolute opposite, chair bound with very low active lifestyle. Let us assume your right leg is dominant. Every time you start walking unconsciously, you will definitely start stepping with your right foot. The same thing happens when you climb a stairs. Right foot always feels good to lead. Beside the preference and unconscious habit, starting step with your right leading leg, you need your stronger and more coordinated leg to, to lift your whole body up a flight of stairs. And you are right, it is still going to be the right leading leg that will start moving forward. With stairs, it is more obvious that you will always pick yourself up with the dominant, but since you are not aware of the repercussions of the end result, you tend not to pay attention. As you do this more often, and you build up your strength further, and even the ability of your leg to reach forward or the range of motion is also further improved. Your right leading leg is happily doing its role to carry out more job than your other leg until your dominant leg gradually started to give up its job. Since your non-leading leg, which is the left in this case, is just always tagging along with your right leg, your left leg become less attentive than your leading leg. All the potential expected on your non-dominant leg will be below par in comparison with the dominant side. Your left or non-dominant side will be hard to control as if it's not following your command. This is very obvious when doing a certain isolated joint movement like in Pilates. You will be surprised how skillful your right leg compared to your left leg. This will not only be uncoordinated, but the range of motion will also be affected. Your left leg will be always moving shorter than your right leg. Can you imagine how many times you walk, climb, or hop repeatedly with one leg always traveling more distance than the other? Can you imagine the repeated propulsion forward that a dominant leg will be doing every day and its imbalances forces created due to the pull of gravity? So this constant repetition is already a daily training that you reinforce every time you move forward. It is how you treat yourself. Therefore, you are developing a skill which map out your own movement pattern eventually. Unfortunately, a very poor movement pattern. Is this a positive thing to naturally happen to everybody? Yes, it is how your body compensates to what you are creating, but too much is not acceptable. This is due to two reasons: aging process and the pull of gravity. With that, it is also relevant to add that we are made to be even, to be more efficient. Lopsidedness of your legs requires rebalancing, like the wheels of your car. With regards to your upper body lopsidedness might not be that important unless you are walking using your arm, or maybe for the sake of looking better. But for lower body, like wheels that needs alignment, imbalanced lower body can result to dysfunctional biomechanics due to constant imbalanced forces traveling up from your feet to your center of gravity, which is just behind your belly button. Yes, you might not be very skillful moving one of your leg, but our body is not normally built to withstand the frequent single leg support. Over time, the most efficient leg will give up for its role, and as a result, an overused chronic heavy leg. So let's talk about the solution to common overuse heavy leg. People always make a mistake to start with repeatedly stretching the overused dominant leg, following the saying that if it feels good to stretch, then more would be better. In this case, examining closely the range of motion will rule out that the dominant leg needs more range of motion. It is always the non-dominant leg that needs fixing, even though it does not give you any sign of dysfunction, mainly through sensation. A positive limited range of motion most of the time does not equals pain or discomfort. But since we are made to balance on two support or two legs, then it is just common sense that alignment approach will resolve the overused leg. By properly stretching the limited left leg to catch up with the right leg will be the best initial approach. Again, the key is stretching the limited non-dominant leg to catch up with the right leg. So the goal of the right leg, or the one that's been troubling you, is to recover faster by increasing the blood flow. That can be done by mild to moderate stretching. The goal of the left leg is to increase the joint range of motion and be as equal with the right leg or the reference leg. This can be accomplished by moderately increasing the stretch intensity for lengthening purpose and increasing the frequency and repetition. Reestablishing the alignment will restore the natural biomechanics that is meant to be working as a team, instead on just relying on the dominant leg to lead, and the gradual progression to be as even as possible with additional stability and coordination training will resolve the overusing of the dominant. For listening, this is Jace Lee. I am an active, isolated stretch practitioner.